How to proceed in the Contemporary Arts Museum.
Find a green-colored pencil in the lobby.
Find Rothko's White Center.
Sit on the white bench in front of Rothko's White Center and think about red.
Coral, really.
Note that it's really more of a coral pink than a red and green pencil on white-lined paper on the white bench in front of Rothko's White Center, which is beginning to look more like red lips against white teeth.
The upper lip really is red. More red every time you look at it. When you look up from the white paper with green notes and you realize that first impressions don't lie.
Although maybe it's a macaroon with a white center instead of red lips.
The bottom half really is more raspberry than red, as it turns out, resembling the consistency of meringue.
Imagine a red macaroon disappearing behind red lips.
Imagine disappearing.
Consider that white is the absence of color, or rather, the reflection of all colors in the color spectrum.
Whereas black is the absorption of color.
Which means that nothing could disappear into Rothko's White Center, but only be reflected by it, because it's a mirror.
Recall that red has the longest wavelength of all colors in the visible spectrum, which is why colors with wavelengths longer than reds are called infrared, and we cannot see them, although we can feel them as heat, which they sometimes radiate all the way through the atmosphere and into the black void of outer space in some cases.
Which means that red, visible or invisible, is really just a form of energy which can radiate through space infinitely, or be reflected or absorbed, which cannot be destroyed and will never disappear.
Wonder if this accounts for their particular radiance of Rothko's White Center, which seems undeniably warmer each time you look at it, as though it were glowing under your gaze, getting warmer with each glance, each brushstroke radiant and soft, as if paint could turn white canvas to red velvet.
Or bloom into a rose.
And through the center of the bloom would be Rothko, holding it by the stem from a long way off, but still there, beaming through its white center, a piece of Rothko-tinted canvas.
Remember that the human body also radiates, especially when its heart rate is elevated. The heart pumping red blood to extremities faster and warming the body, which puts off heat. It is for this reason that two people can warm a cold night together, in the snow, for instance.
Or an empty museum, perhaps.
Without losing too much warmth. And it's mainly to do with the heart, which is radiant.
Wonder if Rothko had the human heart in mind when he said famously, "Silence is so accurate."
Take a deep breath and think of homeostatic processes like breathing and blood pressure.
Regard the museum's security guard in the corner, next to the mobile sculpture in taxicab yellow, and be careful not to miss the synchronous glint of the guard's badge as the mobile ticks through its rounds.
Remember the time.
Remember passing the bakery on Wilshire with macaroons in the window on your way to the museum.
Place the green-colored pencil on the white bench.
Retrace your steps.
Order a raspberry macaroon with a white center.
Give it to a stranger.